For this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of the Alhambra Resort and Villas located in Poinciana, Florida. Well, this is the second time I've stayed at the Alhambra Resort, so if I went back, you could tell I had a pretty pleasant stay the first time I went. The Alhambra Resort is kind of an interesting hybrid of a timeshare, hotel, accommodation kind of thing. It's run by Diamond Resorts, and it appears that the complex was originally built as condos and kind of got converted by Diamond a couple years ago. This particular place is always popping up for a great deal on hotels.com, so that's why I kind of keep booking here. Now, the first time I stayed here, I actually had the efficiency with the 2 beds in the room, and I didn't care for that as much. I preferred the unit that I got this time, which actually had a sofa and 1 bed instead. For a bachelor like me, it's just a lot more comfortable. It's easier to stretch out. I can sit my laptop on the coffee table and basically, enjoy the room more, whereas when you have the 2 beds, there's really no place to sit besides the bed itself, and that can be awkward when you're trying to type on the laptop. This particular resort has a lot of great amenities. They actually have grills where you can actually, barbecue. They've got a really pretty pool. They've got shuffleboard, a tennis court. I mean, it is a really nice resort to stay at. The one thing that I forgot to talk about in the first review of this resort was I really didn't talk about the bathtub. Now, it occurred to me on this trip that you really need to be an able-bodied person to get into the bathtub / shower stall, because there's just this really high step over that you need to make to get into the Roman-style bathtub. I personally love the bathtub. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel like the only thing that they overlooked at this resort is not having the jacuzzi function in the bathtub, because it's large enough for the jets and everything, and it would be amazing if they had it. I can easily get in and out of the shower stall because I'm almost 6 foot tall and I have a big stride, and it's easy for me to step over. I think that if you're like a 5 foot tall woman or kid, you're gonna have a lot of trouble getting in and out of the tub just because it is a huge step over. The rooms themselves have pretty much any amenity you can imagine. They've got a microwave, coffee maker, mini fridge, everything's here that you would possibly need. This particular place is located in Poinciana, so it's pretty far south of the theme parks. So that's kind of the biggest drawback to staying here, is you have to drive 20 miles to get to Walt Disney World, and it's even further to Universal Studios. It's probably like 25, 26 miles to get to Universal. You're really, really far to the south. There's also not really any good expressways to get up there. You're going to have to go up Poinciana Boulevard. So it's pretty time consuming. It'll take you about a half hour to get to Walt Disney World from here. So that's definitely the biggest drawback if you're staying here to go to the theme parks. I didn't mind the drive. I love driving, so it doesn't really bother me. I just couldn't pass up on the deal, so I actually ended up coming down here for a second trip. I also do love all the fast food restaurants nearby. They've got a great Wawa. The sandwiches are dynamite. I basically lived in that Wawa while I was staying here. They've got a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a Zaxby's, all the major fast food chains are right here, almost in walking distance of this particular resort. So I really think that even though it's in the suburbs, the location is pretty good. Now, I started rating these hotels just so people could, I guess, keep track of which ones I think are the best. My scale is 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. So far, I placed Saralago as a 2. Monumental Movie Land was like a 4.5, 5. So that was a middle of the pack. I would give this one probably a 7 to 8. It's definitely the nicest of the hotels that I've reviewed so far. The rooms are incredibly clean. The bathrooms especially are clean. It's very quiet. I took points off because of it being so far away from the theme park. So if this were like within 2 or 3 miles of Walt Disney World, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10 because the resort itself is very pretty and well kept. I'm actually going to put Alhambra on my recommendations list. I actually think it's a really nice resort, and as long as you're okay with the 20-mile drive to Walt Disney World, I think you'd actually really like it. Now, fair warning, at 9 in the morning during rush hour, that 20-mile drive can translate into an hour of drive time to get to Walt Disney World, so just be aware of that. Poinciana Boulevard can get gridlocked. It's an absolutely wonderful resort. If you're coming here for the Poinciana state parks, nature parks, those type of things, then it's an incredible experience.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Adventure Schmuck. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See everyone next week.